So for today's pair of games, I revisit one of my favorite decks, which is Tempo Assassin. Tempo Assassin kind of fell out of favor for a bit, right around the time that the intelligence mid-range decks fell out of favor as a whole. A lot of people stopped playing it after the Supreme Atromancer and Thief of Dreams nerfs, but I personally feel like the deck was actually still entirely viable even after the nerfs. The big issue was the rise of, like, Crusader. I think that Assassin had a great matchup against Scout, but the charge Crusaders, the token Crusaders, the token mages that could all get underneath Assassin really kind of pushed it out. And sure enough, here we are. It's against Crusader. We actually might just keep the curse here. We have the ring. I think we need to fight for 2 drops, though. And that's a prophecy that we would hope to hit. Ew. Alright. Went from bad to worse. But, nonetheless, we're going to give this a go. So, anyway, I was trying to say that, like, the token decks, the fast decks, they all kind of pushed this deck out. And, unfortunately, it looks like we might be paired against one. But against pretty much everything else, it still has a strong potential. If you have the right draw, I still think this has one of the best starts in the game. Goblin Skulk is still amazing. Leaf Lurker is still amazing. Shearpoint Dragon, you know, you guessed it, still amazing. I'm actually going to go ahead and curse that.
Just give me a name.
Just because we can. And we want control of the field lane if we can help it, so we're going to toss this down as well, and then go from there. At 3, he shouldn't have anything that can charge into this. It's the only reason I'm okay with it there. We could have also put it Shadow Lane and then Shadow Shifted it, but it's actually a pretty big win for us if he's playing that.
It's nothing personal.
Let's do that. Look for some value trades.
You can't defeat us.
Do my deck tracking. This looks like Token Crusader.
Soldiers, report.
As opposed to the traditional Charge Crusader. Alright, depending on what this other card is, we actually have some quality value trades that we can maybe make. Alright, so the Lion is no es bueno for us, but can do that.
It's nothing personal.
Can do that. How do we want to handle this? We could actually clear his board minus this if we wanted to. Looking at like Curse Lightning Bolt on the Lion and then Shadow Shifting this away. Let's see what this draws us first. Yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of that Pit Lion. You know what? We probably could have saved the ring charge and used the contract. That's a mistake on my part. If you ever have the choice between a ring charge and a contract, you always want to use the contract first, unless you're having you're part of some sort of combo deck. The reason for that, the reason that you want to use the contract and save the ring charge, is because it doesn't take up space in your hand, so if you're getting to the part where you would like overdraw, the ring charge saves you. Also, this, in theory, right, could get mucked up if he plays like Withered Hand Cultist.
It's nothing personal.
That would not be good for us.
By the 8th, they will meet their makers.
Let's do that, and
Careful there.
let's go ahead and actually, I want to ward this in case he does have a charge creature. But yeah, like Withered Hand Cultist can also gum you up, so that was a mistake on my part.
I will prepare something special for them.
Oh, he runs Grizzly Gourmet. How unfortunate for us. Does he have a second one?
Soldiers, report.
Your orders, your orders.
almost get to Tazcad. Wow.
Into the breach.
Alright. That was a really good turn for our opponent, and not so much for us.
It's nothing personal.
I'm gonna do that. I mean, I really don't want to give him more cards and a shot at a prophecy. He could have, you know, like Cloud Rest Illusionist pop out and really hose us. Trading also means that he's less likely to hit us with an Imprison next turn. He'd have to play 2 creatures and then an Imprison again. But I also know that the only way we're going to win this is by racing him.
Fear my wrath.
I think we take the trade and then contract out the trader. I think that's the best way. Apparently our opponent didn't like us taking our time there. Playing a little emote game. It's not very sportsmanlike. Alright, that's a really good play for our opponent.
Dinner is served.
The sheer point will hopefully help. Alright. It's a good trade for him. We need him to kind of a lackluster, yeah, I was gonna say a lackluster play here. Alright, so.
Didn't see this coming, eh?
That's really unfortunate. Really unfortunate. So, we're still gonna sheer point. We're just gonna do it here now instead. So he's got 5 and 7 is 12, so if he could come up with 6 damage, then he could win.
I hear and
Looks like he's on the willpower heavy
Dinner is
one though, so less likely to come from chargers. If he does not respond to our board, we potentially have lethal, but I have a sneaking suspicion he's going to respond.
There's a plan. There's always
Well,
a
that
plan.
also...
Wait. Did you hear that?
Yeah. That is enough.
I will prepare something special for them.
That is enough health gain to keep us from lethal. So if we trade into the defenses, gives us a contract. The contract could allow us to play Tazcad. So I'm just trying to think this through. We could take a value trade here. This would be gone. Tazcad can trade here. And then we'd have a curse on something, but we're still at 6, and everything over here is still enough to outright kill us, unfortunately. Even with all those value trades. Even if we hit a prophecy, we would be dead. Because he would have all of these, right? So like if he hit us with that and we hit like a harpy, we're still dead in multiple spots.
It's nothing personal.
I mean, I still don't see another out though, unfortunately. Because Cliff Racer, like, we don't have enough to Cliff Racer and Sheer Point. So, yeah. All we can do at this point is hope for a prophecy. It does not look like it's going to come our way, though. So, as I was saying at the start of this, Mid-range assassin, tempo assassin, kind of got pushed out by token decks. And
With me!
Into the breach.
it is still looking like
In battle.
mid-range assassin struggles against token decks. So that's an unfortunate way to start off. Let's see if we can turn it around. See if we can turn it around. Been yo-yoing a lot at the start of this season, mostly because I'm trying some different decks. I wanted to showcase, you know, kind of the good and the bad, I think, for you guys for these videos. And unfortunately, that has meant a lot of ups and downs. I mean, I could just slap on Crusader and climb. Like, I know that deck is still effective. The mid-mage is still effective. You remember when I said that Assassin struggles against, like, token decks and fast decks? Nothing's changed, and unfortunately that's all we're finding. So we're going to try to salvage this. Maybe we'll get some lucky draws and I can showcase how Assassin can beat it. It's not that Assassin can't beat it, it's just that it can't do it consistently. The draws are kind of the inherent problem in this matchup. If you open with like Firebolts and Skulks and you can establish a Murkwater Shaman that doesn't die, you can actually go a long way with your Assassin deck against Crusader, against the token decks. However, that's not what I have, so...
They will not get past me.
Interesting that he didn't have that the last time. Well, let's do this. We're going to take some damage. This is like the safer play, but we need to start contesting, right? We're a mid-range deck. You win by snowballing your board state, your board presence, so...
Training is over. It's time
I
to
have no
act.
fear of you, cowardly skeever.
For the rift.
Sheol.
So we definitely do that. I actually think we shackle there, firebolt here, and just to saturate and cycle, we're going to move this over. It also gives us some more meat to potentially trade here. We do want to get that off the board if we can help it.
Follow me, men.
Alright, Markarth is a bit of a problem, but that helps. I mean, we don't really have much choice. We can't let that swing. Markarth is the kind of card that can just win a game by itself.
Come on then. I'll even let you swing
Quality
first.
play by my opponent.
I'll cleave your skull.
Not much we can really do about it. So, I mean, we know he's running charge creatures. So I don't think that we can just mindlessly go field lane. So I actually think we're going to go Mournhold, Skulk. Because not only can the Mournhold trade into that and then allow the Skulks through, but Sheer Point can also make it so the Mournhold doesn't even take damage, potentially.
We stand united.
So now he wants one of the Mournholds to trade, but... yeah, let's hide this as well. We're going to go ahead and do this, and we're actually going to do this.
Didn't see this coming, eh? Didn't see this coming, eh?
Get another curse. Push that damage. Now, normally I would save these curses. However, we're going to go ahead and take this down because it will make it a 1/1, and so while we know he has it, like, let's be honest, we know he has more buff cards, we want to make him use them before he can, like, trade into anything, right? So I think you go ahead and make that a 1/1 just to make it a little bit harder for him to pull something off. Again, we know he's going to
Training
have
is
charge
over.
creatures, and
It's
we know
time.
he's going to
Noise
have
must
buffs,
take
right?
back,
Yeah,
Sky.
so...
They will not get past me.
Or break storm flow.
It's actually a pretty quality turn for our opponent. But we've got some potential outs anyway. Let's do this and see what we draw.
Didn't see this coming, eh?
And let's diversify over here. We want to try to get him on his back foot. Really, with a deck like his, the more that we can make him trade into us, the better off we are, at least for a little bit. And we want to, again, try to snowball our lead, make high tempo plays. Against Crusader, you're not going to ever be in a position as Assassin, let's say, to just like make them run out of cards. You can't play it like a true control, right? Here's a perfect example, right? Like, he's about to get 1,000,000 cards. There's just not any way that you can make him run out of cards.
Cowardly skeever.
So all you can do is... Yeah, and then he'll take this trade as well. All you can do is try to push your advantage while you still can. And get yourself into a position where hopefully... Hopefully you can threaten lethal, right? Like that's all you can do. Like at a minimum, we at least have maybe lightning bolt lethals off of prophecies, right? But there's honestly a strong chance he could just
Training is
have enough
over.
Damage
It's
right now to
time
kill
to
us
act.
this
We must
turn.
protect our stronghold.
Like that's how insane Crusader is right now. He's got 12 damage on the board, and if he had the right buff cards and whatever, I'm kind of surprised he did that. I would have considered swinging first because he's going to draw cards, and he could have drawn stuff to give him lethal.
Come and warm yourself.
Yeah. Alright, so we have Tazcad and a Shadow Shift. So we should be fine as long as it's not like Night of the Hour or something
A little
silly.
distraction might prove useful.
Yeah, that's also entirely fine. Doesn't matter which one he hits, we just wait, and then we send the other one over. Very tight game, very close. Again, we tried to use our tempo plays to kind of like push our advantage. I just want you to realize that, again, against like Prophecy Battle Mage, when you're playing a deck like this, you can starve them out. You can just wait, you can kill their creatures, you can let them run out of cards, and then keep making value trades and push. Against Crusader, and this is the reason that this deck is oftentimes not favored in that matchup, you cannot do that. They will not run out of cards. You can make all the value trades in the world, but if you're not also pushing damage and giving yourself at least the chance to win, it's just not going to happen. So hopefully that game at least helps. I don't think that it's a favored matchup by any means, but if you can win just a couple more by keeping that in mind, if you want to play Assassin, do it that way. Again, like I said, hopefully it helps. That's it for today's video. As always, I love you guys. Until next time, may you walk on warm sands.